Oh, hey there. Now, pretty sure that you did not click on this video just to get entertained by my little shenanigans. You clicked on this video because you're actually curious to know why are the 5 reasons why you should not move to Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I'm sure you're curious to know, like, hey, what does this guy have to say? So you're gonna definitely want to stay tuned and watch the entire video to see all the details in terms of why I suggest you don't move to Raleigh, North Carolina. So with that being said, let's get after it. Hey everyone, Ronnie here. Welcome to the channel, living in Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you're not familiar already, what we do here, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Reason why we do that is because I eat, sleep, and play here. So me being able to see everything that's going on in this area, I can share with you guys and tell you guys exactly what it is to expect here and kind of what not to expect. Share the good, the bad, again, the ugly. And that allows you to rip that band-aid off, even reduce the amount of research you're doing so that you know exactly if this is a place that you want to be in. And that's why we love getting these phone calls from individuals looking to relocate to the area, or hey, maybe they even have a question on something that I've discussed, maybe something that they saw. We love getting these phone calls from these individuals that are seeking for that information because we're able to share with you and do exactly what I'm doing now, right? Share with you that information that's going on in this area so you can make a sound decision on whether this is an area you want to be in or not. So I thought about how I'm going to approach this, and I thought I should subtly enter into this list here. But I say, you know what the heck? Let's just get into it. Let's dive into the deep stuff, and let's talk about the 5 reasons on why you should not move to Raleigh, North Carolina. And the first one being is the lack of entertainment. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a ton of family things to do. I consider this state as a great family friendly state because there is a ton of parks you can go hang out with, you can go hiking, you can go check out museums, you can even go to art shows. There's a lot of things you can do as a group, as a family. However, for those other individuals that are not really looking for that kind of activity, you're probably questioning like, hey, what is there to really do? And that's the problem that we come across because there's so many bars, there's so many lounges, there's so many clubs that you can go to before you find yourself like going to the same place, or even find yourself, hey, this is too repetitive, and you want to change. And I've seen even myself with the lack of entertainment that comes in town, it does draw kind of a thing where it's like, what do you really do now? Now, I'm not going to say this is going to be a problem forever, but I've definitely seen in the past that this has been an issue where not many entertainment acts have been coming into town and kind of entertaining everybody that's here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I will say there's been a small increase in terms of, the amount of acts that do come in town. However, hopefully that does change with all the development and the things that's going on here. Now, we're going to talk about something that is near dear to my heart. Sports. Now, Raleigh has some sports, but it's not as much major sports teams that you would probably expect, given Raleigh, North Carolina is the capital of North Carolina. Mind blown, right? I would have never expected this. There are major sports. The only one that is here is hockey at the moment in Raleigh specifically. Now, if you want to take advantage of, just the pro sports teams, you have to go all the way to Charlotte. Sorry, I don't make the rules here. I'm just sharing with you guys what my experience has been and what I've seen and what has been one of the downfalls to mine. However, if you are interested in sports and you don't really like hockey, or you don't want to go to Charlotte, there is college teams that you can go check out. You do have UNC, you do have NC State, and you do have Duke University all around here, in which you can go ahead and travel to go, kind of get that feel of the sports atmosphere and just get into the sports in itself. But there is, I will say, hopefully, again, with development, things going on in this state, that Raleigh, North Carolina does get advantage of this because there is a proposed soccer stadium that will be coming into town. Now, I don't know where the status is of it all, but it was proposed. I'm pretty sure they're along their process. It is slowing down a bit, so maybe some even soccer teams will be coming into town as well. Views and scenery. So yes, I did mention that Raleigh does offer a little bit of scenery when it comes to either going on hikes or going to check out some parks. You know, you have that small kind of view of, you know, just nature and kind of seeing what scenery is like. But if you want something that on the next level or something that you could see, you know, over the horizon, you might want to go over to the mountains. Now the mountains in comparison to Raleigh is about 2 hours or so. So if you want to go on that competitive, you want to challenge yourself and go on that hike to go see over the horizon of the city that you're hiking in, definitely you're going to have to travel at least 2 hours to do that. However, on the other end, if you like to put your foot in the sand and you want to listen to the waves, you're going to have to travel another 2 hours in the opposite direction, because Raleigh kind of sits in the middle of the mountains and the beach, which could be a plus or it could be a con depending on if you are able to travel within 2 hours or so. But if you're not, you're going to look at that as probably a reason why you do not want to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. The weather, specifically hurricanes. So now I gotta ask, did you know that Raleigh had hurricanes? Because I honestly, when I got here, I knew they did, but I did not know that whether they were good or bad. It was just, you know, North Carolina, we know that North Carolina experiences those. However, the capacity and how bad they are, that I was unaware of. However, I would say that in the years that I've been here, I've experienced about 2 of them, and they weren't bad. They were mild, I would say. Definitely you want to take precaution and, you know, just do everything necessary. So if you haven't been through a hurricane already, you know, just obviously prepare yourself, do the things necessary so that you are ready. Or you can do another thing, which is just go to the next state that you're looking into. So let's get back into it. And yes, I haven't experienced one that was bad, but obviously some days are better, or some days are going to be worse than others. So definitely take what I say with a grain of salt and just prepare yourself if there is going to be one in town. I have yet to see one that has done extreme amounts of damage. And given that we are about 2 hours or so from the beach, that could play a factor in it, but there's no saying what the future holds and what could actually happen. I do want to add too, though, I did read this stat to kind of give you a little bit more perspective of what the hurricanes look like in North Carolina. And it said that North Carolina has been hit with 55 hurricanes since 1851, making it the 3rd most hurricane-prone state in the United States. So I hope that gives you perspectives on, you know, what really happens in North Carolina when it comes to hurricane. Now, this one that I've said here, this is one that I actually am a really big proponent on, and I really want you guys to understand the magnitude of this. It's the air and the allergies. I mean, when it's springtime, be aware, especially if you have allergies, if you're allergic to pollen or anything of that nature. Man, it's gonna hit you and it's probably gonna smack you really hard, and you're probably never gonna feel like you felt before. I come from, you know, just having allergies, and moving here, I've witnessed a different type of allergies. Nothing on the spectrum of, you know, I wasn't able to manage it or anything of that nature. It was just I've never seen it before. I mean, when you can actually see pollen, it's a different type of lifestyle. It's a different type of things you're gonna now approach differently, simply because if you're like myself, growing up having allergies, I mean, I've witnessed it all. I was very precautious when I first witnessed the spring here and how pollen just literally gets out of hand. If you stuck around to this point, kudos to you, because I'm going to drop a bonus for you. I'm going to talk about the transportation. Now, the transportation here is not the best. I mean, transportation is going to rely on you and only you. And the reason why I say that is because you are going to need a car here. I mean, city transportation, city buses specifically, that's really all that they have here. They don't have your trains that typically just kind of maneuver through the state in itself or even the city going to sub-cities. You don't really have that. You have Amtrak, but this not as frequently as you may expect or you may want. So definitely you're gonna have to rely on yourself on this one a lot. And of course you do have the airport, which is a plus. But if you're a person that, you know, kind of needs to rely on other transportation, this is gonna be one of the 5 big reasons of why you do not move to Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I hope the information I share with you today helps you in your decision on whether if moving to Raleigh, North Carolina is a good decision for you. Now, I didn't cover everything. I just covered a few points that I found to be important to myself. So if you're somebody that is living in Raleigh, North Carolina, and you found something that is a good reason that other people should know on why they should not move to Raleigh, North Carolina, drop it in the comments below. Let's share the information so that people that do come across this video is actually seeing content that is going to be helpful for them in making their decision to Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you're watching this and you still have further questions, give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, whatever you feel most comfortable with doing, maybe even on the weekends. And I'll be more than happy to share with you any information that I've found helpful and that could be helpful to you.